Hi, my name is Theo. He is Ruby. This little guy here is Aster. And this is Coding Kui. In order to continue with our course, we'll need some aspects of the modules. The modules are small pieces of code that extends Drupal platform functionality. They can also completely alter how your site works. There are three kinds of modules that are important in Drupal. The first one, core modules. Core modules are important because they come with Drupal core code, and they provide stuff like, for example, the node management, entity management, user management, a lot of core functionalities that are really important to us. The second one is the contrib module. This is a model developed by the community. They can provide a wide range of functionalities: email management, form management, an e-commerce, connection to an API, etc. A really good example is the web form model. Web form model provides a lot of functionalities to handle forms, to create fields of the forms and to store data. These models are often added to the core functionalities. And the third kind is the custom model. With custom models, you can provide unique requirements that your site can have, something that is really specific or extends a contrib functionality. It is not recommended to develop a model if there's another contrib model that can fulfill this feature. There are some aspects you took in consideration in order to choose a model. The first one is the functionality. Check if this model fulfills your requirements. Then the popularity. Look at the number of sites using this model. Maintenance and updates. If a model is highly maintained, then problems are solved quickly, so it will have less problems, less security problems, less bugs, and it will be a success. If issues are addressed promptly, then this is a good model, a highly maintained model. The documentation. If a model can provide some sort of documentation, then it's a good model and you will have the possibility to improve your knowledge about it. Another aspect is performance. I have installed sometimes models that affects your performance in a way it's not tolerated. So please be aware of not installing some of these models. Another aspect, and maybe the most important one, is the security. Check at the model securities advisory. If there are some major security issues, be careful. Admin toolbar is the perfect model because it's easier to handle Drupal if you have best model to handle our menus, because let's check. For example, configuration. If I open it, it will have more links inside of it. If I open content, for example, it has more links in it. And if you enable admin model, you will have a really better way to handle these menus, because it's really time-losing to browse these menus like this. Let me show what is the model we are going to enable. It's the admin toolbar. Admin toolbar. Drupal. I will search it in Google and open the admin toolbar model. This is a really important model for us because it has these menus that are really useful for us. Working daily with Drupal is really important to have something that helps us getting all these links sorted. Let me show you some of the important stuff of a Drupal module. Okay? The first important stuff is identify that this is a Drupal module. And if we have this Drupal.org project and a name that is non-space name in lowercase letters, this is a Drupal module. Okay? In the first instance, you will have the credits here, the people that has developed this module. In some cases, these guys are my friends. Okay. A good practice of a Drupal developer is adding an image here to show you some of the functionalities of this model. This is not that easy always, but in the case of admin toolbar, it's really descriptive what this model do. Then there's an explanation that in the majority of the cases is not enough for me. In the case of admin toolbar, it's really easy to understand what it does and how it does this. But in some models, when the functionality is more complex, it's more difficult to understand. Another important aspect of a model is understand if this model has some stars, if it is approved by the community, because this is an open source community, so everybody understands more or less what's in the code of the model, or if experiments with it, it will discover if it works or if it's not working at all. For me, this is the most important part of this model page. Here you have how much sites are using the model. This tells you the popularity of the model. You can check what is the last release of this model. This is really important to check how much maintenance it has. Then we have here the core compatibility, which is really important too. We are working in Drupal 10, so not all models are compatible with Drupal 10. In case of Drupal 9.5, this is completely compatible because it's the recommended migration version. Then we have here how to install a module. This is the last version here, and you can install it having only this part of this string. This is the version, and this is not necessary because it will install this version because it's the last stable one. And then you can check at the development version of this project. Sometimes this is important because the changes of the model are updated there firstly. And this is the test result. When a project has some release, it is tested by unit tests that are done with the versions of Drupal. If you click all results, you can check if your PHP version, your MySQL version, and your Drupal core is included in these tests. And here we have a fail in PHP 8.1. If you have this warning, you can check in the issues, for example, if there is some active thread about this fix. And there's another important aspect in this page. This important aspect is the open issues. If you click here, you will get all the issues that are open to this project. There are many here, but you can filter using the version that you are going to install. And click the search, of course. And here we have the currently reported issues. Issues can be reported by developers, by some occasional users, so sometimes they are not really important. But at least in this project, you can check that there are not high priority issues, and you can check the threads of the issues are really active. So this is a good signal that this model is a good one. If this video was useful for you, please subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for more lessons.